Hey guys, and welcome to this practice quiz on exam objective 5.1. Now, you may have noticed I'm not necessarily doing an entire lesson on 5.1. That's because I'm switching up my content a little bit. Instead of doing the whole lesson and then the practice questions, I'm gonna go ahead and skip straight to the practice questions. Reason being, there are free courses out there already. I know people have said they really like the way I explain things, but I want to use my time the best I can. And the best way I can use my time is to continue to create a lot of free resources, to continue to develop learning guides for the 1202 Network Plus, Security Plus, and I think that's how I've decided I'm gonna spend my time. So that way, when you guys smash this exam using these questions, using the free course that's out there, and maybe using my learning guide if you've got it, then I'll be there waiting ready for you at your next certification to help you out there as well. So that's my goal, right? That's the reason for this. That being said, let's go ahead and get into our first question on exam objective 5.1. We're doing troubleshooting now. Let's do it. It reads, Ben powers on his computer, but instead of booting it into the operating system, he hears a sequence of loud beeps. His screen remains black and his system refuses to proceed any further. Which of the following is the most likely cause of Ben's issue? A, his system is encountering a blue screen of death due to a faulty driver. B, his computer's power on self-test has detected a critical hardware failure. C, his system is displaying the macOS pinwheel due to insufficient RAM. Or D, his computer's storage drive is running low on space, preventing the operating system from loading. Pause the video if you need some time to think about that one. Your answer's coming in 3, in 2, in 1. The answer is B. His computer's post-test has detected a critical hardware failure. So guys, the post-test, remember, that is the component that tests the significant hardware features of your computer before the operating system boots up. So if anything is wrong, it's going to do two things. It's going to give you an error code on the screen, but it may be the case that there's a faulty component that's actually causing your screen to remain blank, in which case it also produces audible beeps. And those beeps will give a certain code as to what the issue is. So you're going to have to listen to how many beeps it's displaying and then go up and look up that number of beeps according to your operating system specifically. So there are two ways we know that it's the post-test. One, it said that it happened before the operating system booted up. And two, it said there were audible beeps. Those two things should tell us it was the post-test. The other options, guys, this one here, his system is encountering a blue screen of death. That is a Windows issue. If you're getting a blue screen of death, that's where you get a blue screen and an error code is presented to you. Usually there's a little sad face on there as well. That is Windows. So that tells us the operating system has already booted up at that point. So that can't be the case in this particular scenario because they specifically said the operating system had not yet booted. The next one, the macOS pinwheel is being displayed due to insufficient RAM. Again, the macOS pinwheel requires the operating system to be loaded in first, right? Generally, the pinwheel is saying that you don't have enough resources to do what you need to do, and it's kind of frozen up and it can't do anything, right? It's struggling to read or write to the disk. You don't have enough resources there. But in terms of this particular question, we know it's not that because the OS has to load in before you get that macOS pinwheel. And finally, the next one, his computer's storage drive is running low on space, preventing the operating system from loading. In simple terms, guys, we don't have any reason to believe this is the specific issue. It may be the case that there is an issue with the storage drive, but we have not been given any information on the amount of beeps that have come out of that post-test. If they told us the amount of beeps and they told us that the code is associated with storage drives, maybe we could start to reasonably point ourselves in that direction. But without that additional information, all we know is that the screen is blank, we received beeps, okay? The most accurate answer here is the post-test for that reason. Okay, now the next question is going to say the following. Emma is working on her MacBook when she notices that an application suddenly becomes unresponsive. The cursor turns into a spinning pinwheel, preventing her from interacting with the system. She waits for a few moments, but the issue persists. Trying to troubleshoot, she force quits the application, yet the system remains sluggish and continues to show the pinwheel across different programs. Which of the following is most likely cause of Emma's issue? A critical hardware failure causing a blue screen of death. B, a power supply failure preventing the system from booting. C, insufficient system resources such as low RAM or excessive disk paging. Or D, a disconnected monitor cable leading to a blank screen. Some of these are easy to eliminate, guys. Look, pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to get straight to this one. I'll count you in. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we'll get straight to it. So let's eliminate some clear things that it can't be, right? D, a disconnected monitor cable. It can't be that because we don't have a blank screen. That's just not accurately describing what's happening. So it's not D. B, a power supply failure preventing the system from booting. It has already booted and she has applications open. So that can't be the case. So now it's between A and C. A critical hardware failure causing a blue screen of death. Or C, insufficient system resources such as low RAM or excessive paging to the disk. Let's go ahead. Take a guess right now. I want you to have a guess. And I want you to try to feel confident in that guess. Right? You should be feeling confident before we move on. 3, 2, 1. The answer is C, insufficient system resources. So guys, when you get that pinwheel, generally it's because you're not able to utilize the resources required to perform that task. There's going to be some sort of error there, whether it be not enough RAM or there's too much paging to the disk going on. You don't have access to the resources you need, so your computer's kind of freezing up and it's got that spinning disk and you can't do anything. Okay, that's generally going to be it. The blue screen of death, which was the other option we haven't talked about yet, is a Windows proprietary screen, and that's going to appear before you actually load in and start using applications, right? That would be like if you pass the post test, but then as Windows is booting up, you get a blue screen, right? And it says, hey, your system isn't actually working. Here's an error code. We may need to restart your device. You're not going to be able to still try to go in and out of different applications if you have a blue screen of death. That's kind of it. It's a blue screen of death. Your journey on your computer for that session is dead. Okay, so next question reads, Thomas has recently set up his new desktop computer and connected it to his monitor using an HDMI cable. When he powers on his computer, the monitor remains blank even though the monitor's power indicator is lit and he hears the computer's fans running. Thomas confirms the cable connections that the brightness settings are adequate. Which of the following is the most likely cause of Thomas's blank screen issue? A loose cable connection. B, a failing power supply in the computer. C, the monitor's input is set to the wrong port. Or D, the display brightness is set too low. This is giving you a break. This one should be a little bit easier, guys. This one's a matter of reading the question and eliminating the options. It's largely comprehension, to be honest. Even if you don't know too much, you should be able to almost do it by process of elimination. The answer coming in 3, 2, 1. The answer is the monitor's input is set to the wrong port. Okay, it said that he had confirmed cable connections. The brightness was adequate. The fans were spinning in the computer, which means the computer is on. So it's not that the computer isn't on. So the only one left is the incorrect input on the monitor. When it comes to monitors having a blank screen, it's generally going to be one of two issues. The first one is going to be that the cable isn't plugged in. Always check that first. Alternatively, check you have the correct input selected. For your exam, that's always going to be the first two things you want to do. Okay, the most basic. Start basic and then get more complicated. Don't start at the most complicated potential explanation. Something that's easy to test. Is the cable plugged in? Have I selected the right button? More often than not, that's going to be a problem. Next question reads, John recently upgraded his computer by installing a high-end discrete graphics card. However, after the installation, his computer no longer powers on. He has verified that the power cable is firmly connected and the power outlet works properly by testing it with another device. All external connections appear secure and there are no visible signs of damage to the internal cables. Which of the following is most likely cause of John's computer not powering on? A, defective motherboard causing intermittent power issues. B, the power supply unit not delivering sufficient power. C, a disconnected power cable between the computer and the outlet. A malfunctioning power outlet providing inadequate voltage. 3, then your answer's coming. 2, it's coming right up. 1, pause the video if you need more time. Let's have a look. The answer is B, the power supply unit is not delivering sufficient power. Guys, the question said that he had installed a discrete graphics card. Now, a discrete graphics card is essentially a dedicated graphics card. That is a graphics card that is going to require significantly more power. Okay, so there's a good chance that the computer's total power requirement would have gone up, but maybe he didn't account for that, which is why now it is not booting up, simply because it's not getting enough power. The other ones here, a defective motherboard causing intermittent power issues. There was nothing about intermittent power issues, right? It was just that it's not powering on after he installed the graphics card. It's not powering up and then stopping. It's just not powering on at all. C, a disconnected power cable. It did say that he had already verified the cable connection and the malfunctioning power outlet. It told us that he had already tested that with another device and it was working just fine. So just remember, a discrete graphics card does use more power, and you'll need to account for that. So you'll need to, for your exam, understand that the different components that you might add that are going to significantly bump up your power requirements, okay? And other than that, for this kind of question, it's just a matter of troubleshooting and being able to eliminate those variables, right? What potential answers did the question eliminate? That's always your first step. And you're usually going to find it's at least one or two. And then you got a 50-50 chance from there. But of course, you don't need to rely on chance, because you're going to get it because you've been studying with me. Okay, next question reads, Olivia notices that her laptop has become increasingly sluggish over the past few days. Applications take longer to open, web pages load slowly, and even simple tasks like switching between windows feel delayed. She checks Task Manager and finds that her CPU and memory usage are unusually high, even though she hasn't opened many programs. Which of the following is the most likely cause of Olivia's sluggish performance? A, Windows updates running in the background. B, a failing power supply reducing system efficiency. C, a disconnected network cable causing slow internet speeds. Or D, insufficient monitor brightness settings. Have a strong guess and trust your gut, guys. I want you to feel like you know you have this right. Pick an answer, stick with it. Let's see if you're right. Pause the video if you need more time. 3, 2, 1. The answer is A, Windows updates running in the background. So guys, if you are running a Windows update in the background, that can slow down your system temporarily while that update is taking place. It's using system resources, etc. And sometimes, particularly if you have auto update turned on, it might sneak up on you. You might be like, hey man, why is my computer so slow? But then you go and check and it's actually performing a Windows update. So that can slow you down. Now, why is that the right answer, right? Because some of these could potentially also be an answer, right? So let's investigate. The next one, a failing power supply. That's not necessarily going to reduce system efficiency. It's generally going to result in your computer turning off because it doesn't have enough power, right? The next one, a disconnected network cable. If your cable is disconnected, you're not going to have slow system performance. You're going to have zero internet access. That's what you're going to have there. D, insufficient monitor brightness settings. There was nothing in this question about a screen brightness, a lack of visibility. It was about system performance. Okay, so that shouldn't have even been considered as an option there. Hopefully we got that one right. Next question. I've gotten rid of one of these sentences here, which is why there's a bit of a gap, just to make it a little bit harder for you. It reads, Mark has noticed that his gaming laptop has been shutting down unexpectedly during intense gaming sessions. The fans run at full speed and the bottom of the laptop feels extremely hot. Performance also slows down with games lagging and stuttering before the device shuts off completely. Which of the following is the most likely cause of Mark's issue? A, a corrupted operating system causing software crashes. B, overheating due to poor heat dissipation. C, a faulty network adapter affecting internet speeds. Or D, insufficient storage space leading to application slowdowns. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. Now, it is overheating. B, overheating due to poor heat dissipation. So the question specifically noted during intense gaming sessions, right? If you've got a laptop, it's particularly a gaming laptop, it starts to get really hot, that can cause intermittent shutdown, okay? Overheating generally leads to intermittent shutdown. The other options here, a corrupted operating system. There's not really any reason to believe he has a corrupted operating system. The reason we're choosing overheating over corrupt operating system is, one, it said during intense gaming sessions, right? That implies a heavy use of system resources, and that is when it has been shutting down only during those intense gaming sessions. So it doesn't really lead us to think there's anything wrong with the OS. It leads us to think that it's during intense sessions. What happens during those? It gets hot. That's why the fans are running at full speed. There's a lot of hints in there that we should have hopefully been picking up on. The other one, which was a faulty network adapter, that's about internet speeds. It's not going to cause shutdown. D, insufficient storage space leading to application slowdown. You might get application slowdown, but you're not going to get shut down. It's not going to shut down as a result of that. So the only one that really made sense was overheating there. The next question reads, Daniel has been using his laptop for work and notices that it shuts down unexpectedly, even though the battery is fully charged. He observes that the shutdowns often happen when he is performing resource-intensive tasks like video editing or gaming. Which of the following is the most likely cause of Daniel's random shutdowns? A, low storage space. B, overheating. C, a failing network adapter. Or D, a disconnected Ethernet cable. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1... Boom. You better have got that right. We just talked about it. It's going to be overheating, guys. When you are having intense resource using tasks such as video editing or gaming, and you're also getting shutdowns at the same time, it's probably going to be because of overheating at that point in time. Now, let's look at these other options here. Low storage space. What is low storage space going to get us, right? It can possibly slow down the laptop, but it's not going to cause you to get shut down, right? You're not going to get shut down, right? C, a failing network adapter. That would affect internet access. It wouldn't shut you down, right? That would make you that would put you in a position where you have no internet connectivity. And finally, a disconnected Ethernet cable. Again, no internet connectivity. So the key thing here, as you can hopefully see, guys, with this exam objective for your questions on the exam, it's just a matter of knowing what issues are most likely caused by what symptoms, what causes result in the symptom that you're looking at, right? If you can kind of look at the symptom and say that's probably caused by this, you're going to be okay. The final question for this video is, Alex has been noticing strange noises coming from his desktop computer. At first, it was just a faint rattling sound, but over time, the noise has become more pronounced. Which of the following is the most likely cause of Alex's unusual computer noises? A, a corrupted software update. B, a loose component. C, incorrect input setting. D, a disconnected Molex connector. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. An easy one to finish off. It is, of course, a loose component, guys. A corrupt software update isn't going to cause a rattling sound. Neither are any of the others. The only thing that is going to cause that rattling sound is going to be a loose component. That one should have been hopefully pretty clear. A corrupt software update might cause performance issues or application errors, but you're not going to get that sound. Incorrect input setting, you're just not going to be able to see anything on the screen. And finally, disconnected Molex connector, you're generally going to have power not being received by a particular component in that motherboard, and therefore it would not be functioning. Okay, so again, wouldn't produce that sound. So guys, look, here's what most people do when they study for their exams. Most people watch a free video course and then they jump straight to trying randomized practice exams, and they feel like their head is on fire. They're going to explode because they're not doing very well. That's because they've had no structure. They've taken no steps. They just watched a free course and went to the practice exam. Do this instead. Watch your free video course online. Then you want to complete active recall questions. These are simple questions. I always tell you guys to take notes in the form of questions, right? Simple, basic questions that can just help you process that information. Then you want to use your multiple choice questions organized by exam objective, exactly like we've done in this video, right? So for example, maybe you've watched a free video course and then you've come here to try the practice questions on that particular exam objective. And once you've done that for every single exam objective, you feel like you have a good foundation. Now you try that randomized practice test, and now you should do a lot better because you've actually built that foundation. And I can help you do that with my learning guide. In my learning guide, you get organized notes and practice questions all broken down by exam objective, just like you've seen the practice questions in this video. You get 11 performance-based questions. You get 3 randomized practice exams where I take those questions, put them in randomized practice exam format with the performance-based questions as well. You get a tracking spreadsheet with a recommended study process. You get videos where I show you how to study properly using multiple choice questions, using AI. I give it all to you there. There's so much value there, but particularly considering how affordable it is, in my opinion. Here's what people are saying. I've paid for your 1102 and 1101 courses, and they have helped me pass my CompTIA A plus exam. Update, your notes definitely helped me pass my test today. Your learning guide is goated. It helps me process and piece things together more easily. So, another one. I could already see it will help immensely with studying. I tried other popular resources, but struggled absorbing the material. So if you want to go ahead and get this, you can grab it in the description down below or in the pinned comment down below. Alternatively, I also have a free practice exam. You want to just get your fingers a little wet, but you don't want to like buy anything yet. Completely free, also in the description and in the pinned comment down below too. I'll see you in the next one, guys, and I can't wait to hear that you have passed your exam.